Finishing up our notes for Lesson 13-2. We're going to stick with radians for the rest of the lesson. Like we did in degrees, we can find coterminal measures in radians as well. Taking a look at a positive and a negative location on our circle that would be equivalent to an original radian measure. Our formula is going to start once again with theta. You'll be given a radian that you plot somewhere on your coordinate system. We're going to add and subtract 1 revolution around the circle in radians, which technically is 2 pi. But the unique thing about radian measures is they're often fractions. That means we're going to have to put 2 pi over 1. And whatever our radian is, we'll need to find a common denominator. All right, let's try a couple of examples below. The directions state, for each radian measure, sketch the angle. Then determine 1 positive and 1 negative coterminal angle measure. Keep your answer in radian mode or radian form. To do this, what we're going to need to do is kind of identify where the boundaries are for each of the 4 quadrants. We're going to start with 0 on the right, and as we travel along the circle to the top, that would be at pi over 2 radians. Halfway around is 1 pi radian. Down at the bottom, it's 3/2 pi or 3 pi over 2 radians. And if you go all the way around the circle, starting on that right-hand side, in our counterclockwise direction, we would get to 2 pi. So now we have to think about, where does pi over 5 fit into all of this? That's our radian. Start with 1 quadrant at a time, so 0 on the right. If we were in quadrant 1, is pi over 5 between 0 and pi over 2? And that answer is yes. Technically, 1/5 is less than 1/2. That means somewhere along our circle will approximate pi over 5, maybe around here. So our theta value would put us at pi over 5 radians. That's the measure on the circle related to our inside angle. Okay, and that's all we do for part 1. Part 2, to find coterminal measures. I'm going to need to scroll down to have a little bit more room to write that. There we go. That's all I need. To find coterminal measures, this is actually pretty easy, even though we're dealing with fractions. Remember, our formula is theta plus or minus 2 pi over 1. Our theta value is pi over 5. We'll start with that. And I don't know why it turned blue, but we'll go with it. Plus or minus that template 2 pi over 1. Remember, to add and subtract, we need to get a common denominator. If we have pi over 5, what we're going to do is just take our 2 pi over 1 and multiply it by 5 over 5. And what that does is it changes that 2 pi over 1 to be 10 pi over 5. And now we have a common denominator. So what you'll do is we'll add pi plus 10 pi over 5, and that's 11 pi over 5. There's 1 positive coterminal measure to that radian. And if we do pi minus 10 pi all over 5, that would be negative 9 pi over 5. And that's all you do. 1 positive and 1 negative coterminal measure that would be equivalent to that portion, that kind of arc length on the circle. Things definitely get interesting when your radian measure is negative. Now what I need to do is go clockwise around the circle. So watch how I create the boundaries for each of the quadrants this time. When you have a negative radian value, I'm going to start with 0, but now I'm going to go in that clockwise direction. That means at the bottom, I'm going to be at negative pi over 2. And as I keep going to the left, I'm going to be at negative 1 pi. The top, negative 3 pi over 2. And then if I go all the way around in that clockwise direction, I'll be at negative 2 pi on that right-hand side. Now think about, where did that 2 go? Sorry. There we go. Now think about negative 4 over 7. 4 over 7 is technically bigger than 1/2. Therefore, as we rotate along the circle, if I go all the way to the bottom of quadrant 3, that's technically 1/2 pi, and 1/2 is smaller than 4/7, So still going in that clockwise direction, I'm going to continue slightly into quadrant 3. There's my angle kind of measure. So this is my theta value right there, and we're looking at that arc measure on the circle. Theta equals -4 pi over 7. Once you find that approximation, now the rest is just kind of following that template. Theta plus or minus 2 pi over 1. Start with your theta, -4 pi over 7, plus or minus 2 pi over 1. And now to get that common denominator, just multiply 2 pi over 1 by 7 over 7. Slide down so I have a little bit more room there, and carry on. -4 pi over 7, plus or minus 2 pi times 7 is 14 pi over 7. There's kind of our template to use, so now we're going to add them and subtract them. -4 plus 14 pi all over 7 would give us positive 10 pi over 7. If we went counterclockwise starting at 0, we'd end up at that same boundary location. Then if we do -4 minus 14 pi over 7, that would give us -18 pi over 7. And there's our negative coterminal measure to -4 pi over 7. All right, one more. Let's try positive 15 pi over 11. Since our theta value, our radian measure, is positive, we'll still start with 0 on the right, but now we're going to go counterclockwise. That means we'll go up to the top, and that boundary will be pi over 2. On that left-hand side, it's pi. At the bottom, 3 pi over 2, or 1.5. And then that 1 full revolution is 2 pi around the unit circle. 15 over 11. As we think about starting on the right-hand side and going along the circle, 15 over 11 is definitely bigger than 1/2, and it's actually even bigger than 1. Is it bigger than 1.5 though? If we have 15 over 11, that's the same as 1 and 4/11 pi. And 4 over 11 is definitely less than half, which means 1 and 4/11 is definitely less than 1.5. But it's closer to 1.5 than it is to 1. That means as we kind of approximate our location, maybe we'll stop right there. And our angle measure goes all the way around to that location. That's our theta, which means our radian to go along with that is 15 pi over 11. Whew, that's the tricky part, just trying to find kind of that location. And I really just want you to end up in the correct quadrant, hopefully either closer to the x-axis or the y-axis, depending on what your fraction would be closest to. From there, we just follow our definition for coterminal, and then we're done with this section. So for coterminal, start with your original measure again, 15 pi over 11. If we add and subtract multiples of 2 pi over 1, our common denominator is 11. So we need 11 over 11, and that would give us 15 pi over 11 plus or minus 22 pi over 11. So to finish that up, we'll just do 15 pi plus 22 pi. That's a pretty big rotation. That equals 37 pi over 11. There's a positive measure. And then I'm just going to scroll a smidge down. There we go. If I subtract 15 pi minus 22 pi over 11, 15 minus 22 is -7. That means -7 pi over 11 would be our negative coterminal measure. All right, last but not least, everybody, make sure you have a calculator for our last set of examples. We're going to enter things in, specifically in degree or radian form. When asked to use a calculator to evaluate, we've worked with degrees already, but we haven't yet worked with radians. So note it says round to 4 decimal places. When you look at these 4 examples, A, B, C, and D, the difference between degrees and radians is literally the degree symbol, or if you see pi in your answer, or a fraction that doesn't have a degree. So A and B are both in degree mode or degree form. Make sure your calculator is in degree form for both of them. Now tangent is one of our 3 trig functions on the circle, or excuse me, on our calculator. Wow. You can go ahead and enter tan 125, and you should get approximately, to 4 decimal places, negative 1.4281. Please make sure to try that on your calculator so that you understand how to plug it in. Because example B, it's a little trickier. Now CSC 27. CSC is cosecant, and that's the reciprocal of sine. So we can't type in CSC on our calculator, but if we recognize the definition, CSC is the same as 1 divided by sine 27. Now notice how I type that into my calculator. 1 divided by sine 27, enter. This is important to type in to make sure you can do it. You should get approximately 2.2027. 2.2027. So anytime you see literally a degree symbol, make sure your calculator is in degree mode. Because then when you don't see that, like you see a pi, for example, or a fraction that doesn't have that degree with it, now go to your calculator, go to the mode function, and convert to radian mode. And you will use radian mode for both of these. So now you're still going to type in the same trig function, but you have to type that fraction in specifically. So cosine 4 pi over 7, put 4 pi over 7 in parentheses, and then press enter. And you should get negative 0.2225. Again, make sure you can do that on your calculator. As you type that in, I'm going to scroll over here because I'm running out of room. All right, the last example, secant 2/5. We know that's not a degree because it literally doesn't have a degree symbol. So that means it's approximating that radian measure on the circle by already incorporating pi in some way. Okay, so SEC is secant. And secant, kind of like CSC in part B, is not one of our trig functions that's on our calculator. However, secant is the reciprocal of cosine. So as we type that in, we're going to do 1 divided by cosine 2/5 in radian mode. And again, that 2/5 needs to be in a parenthesis. Please type that in, 1 divided by cosine 2/5. You should get approximately 1.05, whoa, no, just kidding, 1.08, I looked at it wrong, 08, and then 57. So approximately 1.0857. So there's kind of taking what we know about degrees and radians and finding locations on the circle. And that's it for lesson 13.2.